about 9 a.m. I left the derelict site. Had a peaceful night last night. Nice and silent and quiet. Didn't get any rampaging kids go running through the place last night. As I was walking out this morning, though, just find a security guard with his dog, K9 patrol unit. They don't want trespassers. So, I'm just walking through, mate. That's all right. Blah blah blah. He's doing his job, I suppose. Yeah, but I just don't understand who owns the land. Why aren't they doing anything with it? And why don't they let people in? Yeah. God dear. Still, it's just another little petty hate I got. Anyway, I don't think. Okay, as temporary overnighters, given all these details and everything else, I don't think that derelict site would make a viable medium-term winter camp, especially if you're going to have security guards telling you to move on. I'll have to think about that. I mean, it might be good for 1 or 2 nights as you're going between camps, but as I say, it's not going to be very good if you get yourself all set up and some security person comes along and tells you, sorry, you're not allowed here, they don't want trespassers. Yeah, so chuck you out in the cold, That you freeze to death outside, just as long as there's no trespassers, Still, retracing my footsteps, I'm back at my halfway point sort of thing, just having a little rest doing this video, and I found my little attachment I lost. The only reason why I lost it is because the little knob thing that keeps it in place, I lost that ages ago. So I just used another knob from something else that I don't actually use. So so I've got my tripod back in relative working order. I'm just going to have a smoke, have a drink, finish that tonic water, get back to my camp, and have some pasta. That means filtering water. And it didn't rain. God, last night those clouds were really black and heavy, but it didn't rain around here. And this morning it was nice and mild, and it's getting hot now. Yeah, I want the rains to come. I know it sounds silly, but I want the rains to come. I want to check out all my patches and see if they work. I want to check out the structure in the windier conditions. I want to get it all done before the real winter comes. You've got to test these things out. I know you can approximate things and everything else, but you've got to have field tests. Anyway, like I said, I'm not going to bore you later. I'm going to spend the day at the camp. I'm going to go for a small walk tomorrow. I've virtually walked every single footpath around this area. So yeah, definitely going to have to move on somewhere else. I'm going to be heading into Reigate Hills in that area, that side of the M25, and do some walks around that area and see if there's any viable places. As I said, there's a nice place down in Nutfield that might do for a winter camp. It certainly needs a lot of work. I mean, I just scoped out and left some stuff down there, but oh gosh, I don't know whether or not. See, the problem with that place is there's no shops in the immediate vicinity, and there's no water as such. There's a running brook. It's a small running brook. I would imagine it's dried up now. But unless I can, raid the farmer's water supply, finding water around that area is going to be a problem. Guess I could do a deal with a mansion. Well, I don't know. I have to think about that. Again, I'll probably end up going down there again this weekend to see what I can do with it. Anyway, I shall catch you later, guys. Take care now. Don't know if you can see, but up in those trees there's at least two hawks, two birds of prey. Oh, there's a third. Yeah, that's three hawks up in that area. That's really interesting. See if I can. I'm going to put this on pause to see if I get closer. Oh, there they are. There they go. There's one, two. Flying around. There must be a nesting pair up there or something, and a youngster. Yep, nice to see these things. Oh. Well, I'm boiling. I'm too hot. Anyway, well, that's interesting. There's two, and that's just the poor pigeon trying to get away. Right. Okay. Oh, dear. Just got back to camp. Nothing's been touched. That's good. No one's been down here. I just did a quick recce. My little brook has just, this is a little trickle now. So, yeah, priorities today is get what water I can. Yeah, I'm down about 6-7 litres, and I've got a new bottle, so say 8 litres. So I've got to fill that all up today. Have something to eat. Oh God, I'm hungry. I didn't think I'd do 2 nights, but so I only brought snacks. So I'm going to cook up some coffee, get some coffee going, and I've got loads of pasta, so I'm going to have to get the wood fire going, burning off some of that. Yeah, so and then I'm going to just chill for the rest of the day. I am sweating so profusely at the moment. Oh, it's my little wren. All the nuts and raisins are gone. So yeah, they'll probably be coming around later on now that I'm back. Where's my food? Let me eat mine first. Anyway guys, catch you later. Talking about water filtering, and obviously I've got a life straw, one of those, kill 99% air, right? Can never get the chemicals out yet, we all know that. Very useful to have. It's just that, if as in emergency, bang, takes a bit of sucking, but you can start to get some stuff out. Now, if you're filtering water through it as well, they give you those little 500ml pouches, and it takes a while to strain through. Anyway, my little water filtering setup, I thought I'd try and improve upon it a bit by plugging up the bottle cap area with a couple of cotton buds. Yeah, initially it does. That's the first one, and that's the second one. The second one is a little bit dirty, so I'm still getting some sediment coming through, but generally no. I've been doing this for months now. I haven't had a problem at all. The only problem I have had is with the kitchen rolls, is that because they're perfumed or treated with something, I'm not sure, well, Sainsbury's one anyway. Got a Tesco's one now, trying out. You see, the one problem I find is just that, I don't know if you can see it, it's the little bubbles as it goes through. So there's some sort of chemical process going on in there. But again, like I said, I've been doing this for months, you know, and I'm all right. Well, oh, for God's sake. I'm gonna have to build a better platform to put it on. That also reminds me, my next project is to build that bloody shower unit. So next time I get a bit of money, I'm off to the builder's yard to get some grommets and screws and get one of those cheap, you know, just plug onto the tap shower. So I've got a piece of sort of valve with an on-off switch on it. So all I need to do is find a big enough bucket. Arguing to myself, I mean, I can have a decent wash with a bucket of water, which is about 10 litres. Do I want to go for 20 litres? Just means more water to filter, because you've got to filter the water out. And of course more water to boil, if you want a warm shower, warm wash, or something else. So I'm just thinking to myself what to do. Yeah, 10 litres on a shower unit, go very quickly. So you still got to go through the same process of washing yourself off and then just rinsing yourself. As I say, you can keep yourself clean in just a couple of litres. So long as you've got the right, how do you call it? I like to use stuff like Sanex and Zero soaps and all that, because it doesn't hurt the environment. You get those antibacterial soaps and all that, Dettol and all that. Yeah, it's always good to, as I say, keep clean. And the cleaner the water is the better as well. So, but then again, any water boiled, you don't want to have a wash and then still come up covered in mud, you know what I mean? You might be clean mud, but yeah, you still look dirty. Oh dear. My third cup of coffee since I've been back. Oh, I love it. I just cooked up a big pot of pasta, and I opened up a tin of tuna in olive oil, straight in, seasoning. Oh, heaven. It's just simple things in life, you know. And I couldn't eat that every day. Gotta have me spam, gotta have me meat, you know. That's why I like, as I say, I might have to barbecue one of these squirrels one day. Not just yet though. I enjoy their company actually. They're getting less and less scared of me. That's makes me feel guilty having to sort of like dispatch one of them, you know. Yes, we're friends. I fed you. I'm fattening you up. So, no. You eat when you have to. You do things when you have to. There's no law in the land that can stop you from doing what you need to do to survive. But you always have to weigh up the situation every single time. What constitutes survival? You know? And this is what the law and psychiatrists and legal profession, they always talk in hindsight. Yeah? They always sort of, well, you shouldn't have done that. Yeah, but I did, you know. It's a, oh, well, we don't understand, you know, it's in hindsight. You make the choices at that moment, yeah, with what you know. That's that point. You've made that decision, you've made that choice, you've done that action or something else. Yeah, in hindsight, it's a wonderful thing, but it's useless, you know. Unless, as I say, I could imagine a plane full of psychiatrists or something else crashing in the Andes. They'd all die starving to death, talking about what they could possibly do. Yeah. Whereas some practical people, oh, there's some dead passengers here, let's eat them. Practical. I don't understand why. It's just a survival situation, yeah. And everything, all life is about surviving. Even in our little society, my little wren, he's busy. He's in, out. He's feeding his kids. That's survival. And he's got to be wary of the birds of prey and other things and other animals that might come and eat his eggs. Yeah, that little wren will protect his nest to the best of his abilities. You know? So, yeah, survival. Yeah, fatten up the squirrels and eat it later. But that's not survival. Survival. I'm going to start boring you now. Yeah, as I said, I tried to put some cotton wool buds in the filter to, smarten up the process. Unfortunately, it turned not into a steady drip, a drip every 30 seconds. Drip. Well, you could die first. Wait for that to get enough. Sit under having a drop at a time. No, it's what we'll do is survival. I often joke with my sister, she's disabled, and in a survival situation, what would you do? I'd leave you. We're off, alright? Yes, sis, if you are watching this, I will do everything I possibly can to look after you, okay? Yes. Anyway, like I say, we'll have to cross those bridges when we come to them, okay? And hindsight is not something that it's all about survival. We do what we do at that particular moment. There's no rhyme. Sometimes there's no rhyme, no reason. If it's done out of malice, or if it's not, as I say, if you have premeditation, then that's just idiotic. You know? But doing things on the spur of the moment, well, that's also idiotic. You should be more aware of everything that goes on around you. It's like you can take a look at an empty motorway. You can hear the cars in the background. It's empty, yeah. You can make that decision to run across the motorway, but that sound in the background is some speeding car coming straight for you, and you can't see it. You know. So you make that decision to cross the motorway. It's empty. And then, zing, some arsehole comes and hits you because he's going early. You can hear it, can't see it. Boom. So, those little chav boys on these little scooters. Oh God! I was walking up a hill once and I could hear him in the background. I was walking 2-3 minutes. Still walking up the hill. 5-6 minutes later, this little chavvy on a bike goes past me and he thinks he's going to lick, yeah, and he's making a horrible noise. And I thought, oh my God, it took him. I walked up faster than he's on the bloody bike. Anyway, he's going up the hill. Sorry, and then when he's 10 minutes later, he's outside, and you can still hear it. God, what's the bloody point of having a bike like that? Honestly, chav boys on their little scooters. I think that's just hilarious, you know. Oh look me, I've got wheels now, I'm a hard boy. Oh dear. My first bike was a CZ 150. Yeah, had many a crash on that. Yeah, so survival, chav boys. Yeah, if I had a group of chav boys with me, God dear oh dear, what would I do? Leave them. Fend for themselves. I'd rather have serious people. Not that I'm that serious half the time anyway. Who knows what they do, who know what they're doing. So in a survival situation you don't necessarily want to start teaching people, you know. Tell them what to do and hope they do it. And if you start teaching people, they should have learnt all of this when they were younger and everything else. At least how to find the north, you know, how to read a map, how to use a compass. I'm not saying that Armageddon situations happen all the time, but you know, you could have a breakdown in the middle of Dartmoor or somewhere else like that, in New Forest. They still have old biker gangs hanging out there. I'll have to go down there and find out. But you know, some situation could happen. You could be stuck in a snowdrift. Yeah. Oh God, you can come off. Just think of it. You're driving down the road. You skid, you slip, you slide. You go into a ditch. You get covered in snow. What you gonna do? Seriously, if you're in a ditch, nobody's gonna see you covered in snow. It could be months before they dig you out. You know. So how would you survive? How would you get out? What would you do? You know, you're broken down and 10, 15 miles from the nearest town, in either direction, that's how. Do you know how to get to the nearest town? Do you know which way, the directions? Do you follow the road? If it's covered in snow, you're not going to find the road properly, are you? If it's pouring monsoon type rain, God dear, oh dear, that's even worse. Actually, that's even, I hate walking in the rain, because once you get wet and soggy, it's horrible. Being cold is one thing, but when you're wet, that's the worst thing. Unless of course you're out in the tropics, then getting wet, you know, when it stops raining, it dries off very quickly. Unless you're in the jungle area. Oh dear, sometimes you get wet there, nothing ever gets straight when it's really humid and all that. 2 weeks though. Anyway, again, sorry, boring you. Filtering my water, got my linseeded up my hiking poles. I've got a spare one, I don't know. Yeah. Don't know what to do with it. Probably designed for a 6-footer. I'm only a short ass, so. But yeah, I'm gonna. They're all ready for test driving soon, so I might take one out tomorrow for a test drive, test walk, test walk, and see how it copes in the undergrowth and all that. Anyway, catch you later, guys. Hi, I was just sitting here filtering my water out. It's really crappy water, but I was just thinking to myself, and I do it automatically sometimes, when I'm in certain areas where there's one of those pet hates you have, the areas of mosquitoes and midges and other horrible little insects everywhere. And you know, you can buy all your cheap crap, the expensive crap and all that, you know, it doesn't always work. A couple of little tips though. You know, sometimes you can buy those incense sticks. Yeah, in Hong Kong, when I was living out in Hong Kong, you can get those mosquito coils. They're good for a couple of hours and everything else, especially in a room or in a small enclosed area. But another thing I tend to do, I don't know if you can see, let's see if I can get that down, is I just have a small tin of like shavings, all the the debris and everything else around, and just have that smouldering away, and it's just this gentle smoke, not like on a fire or anything else like that, so it's probably not going to be noticeable, we hope anyway. But that smoulders away for an hour or so. You just add another couple of just ordinary debris, and it just smoulders, smokes a bit, and it keeps the mosquitoes away, and doesn't cost anything. It's your hard work when you're doing all your shaving or anything else like that. Yeah, I mean, simple little things. When you're out and about and you want to convey your knowledge and all, you tend to forget about these little things. Yeah, so it's just another little tip there. Just have a little tin of shavings, let that smoulder away. And that'll smoulder away for an hour or so. And there's plenty of debris around, you don't have to pay for it. Just again contemplating, just sitting here playing my game. Another cup of coffee because I hadn't had any coffee for like 2 days. As much as I enjoyed the peace and quiet one night, apart from the rampaging kids and everything else, the security guard this morning, that area was well peaceful and quiet. Had some drawbacks. Again, I don't think it's going to be viable for us a long-term winter camp if they're going to tell you to move on. Especially when they patrol it with a dog unit. So, because he's going to smell you. I love this spot, despite the noise from the M25. It is out of the way, and it is more peaceful here. Despite the noise of the M25, than it was in that derelict building. Because I think one of the things that about enjoying your environment and everything else is having that peace of mind. And because you're in a derelict site and everything else, and there's security and everything else, you've always got that in your mind. Oh, security coming. Yeah. The other thing is, because it's a known hangout and everything else, well, am I going to be inundated with marauding bands of youngsters bent on destruction and just to have a couple of kicks, to have their fun and party or anything else like that. So yeah, if you've got those sort of things in your mind, so, well, where am I going to poo? where am I going to get water from and stuff like that? It doesn't lead to peace of mind. This is why I love this spot. I've got water, I've got seclusion. It is relative. Despite the hikers, the joggers, the walkers, I am relatively secluded, so I don't have those sort of things in my mind. Try to keep a low profile. Nothing worries you. It's like anything you do in life. You can either be a socialite or anything else and get out there and be busy, but you've always got that in your mind. Your stress is in your mind. If you can, always find a way to get away from it, you'll have much better peace of mind. And with a much better peace of mind, you have clearer, better thought processes, you know. Anyway, that's just a little bit of me philosophizing a little bit there. If you want to enjoy life and what's around you, you should really get out and find that quiet spot. You can't always find it at home. You can't always find it in a crowd. You can only find it within yourself. But the environment does help. Anyway, sorry, I'm boring you. 6 minutes, I'm boring you on this point here. As I say, tip for the day: smouldering tin of debris. That's it. Keeps the mozzies away. Yeah. Anyway, I'm still chilling out from this morning's walk. I shall catch you later. Well, it's 6:30. I didn't really notice. I've just spent an hour sitting outside this wren's nest trying to catch some good pics of the little thingy, and didn't really notice it. I managed to get some pics, but I don't think that they're really good. And I'll stocked up with water, filtering a bucket for a wash later. I'm just looking at the crap that's the filtering out, so it's a good idea. And I was just sitting here playing my game, just didn't notice anything. Got up for a coffee, and I just suddenly realised the wind's picked up. It's 6:30 in the evening, or almost 6:45, and it's definitely very chilly. Ooh. Sign of things to come, I think. Yeah, this it's definitely can't. It's not overcast. That's just it. The sun's still sort of like poking out around there, and I could feel the chill in the breeze. That's why I put my fleece back on. Yeah, I think if it, I may not go out tomorrow. Got enough wood for a couple of burn-offs. Yeah, I might have to do a quick wood forage tomorrow. I mean, I've got wood here I could chop up. I'm making a bat. Not for me. It's for my niece. She wants a zombie bat. So, what's a zombie bat? Nails? No. Yeah. I don't think nails. But what you could do is make the grooves in it, so you have how do you call it? Point of pressure. So the narrower the point of pressure, the smaller the point of pressure with force. Yeah. I mean, the smaller the point with force exerts greater pressure. Sometimes when you hit someone, it's not that painful as if you were to poke someone. Everything has got more pressure in a smaller point, That's what the physics is behind it. But yeah, so zombie bat. It's a nice solid piece of wood as well. I wanted to use that for something else. I wanted to make a Japanese katana, small short sword. Yeah, I wanted to make a short sword. It's been a long time since I used a sword, so yeah, but a zombie bat for my niece, why not? Yeah, so just a quick thing. Just the weather is turning. So there's no more time to muck around with games and everything else. You've got to really prepare for these things. And so yeah, I think I'm going to have to get this place camouflaged up, because when the winter comes, all the foliage goes. So, and when the foliage goes, you're more visible. So just got to be able to mask my presence here as much as possible. My brook is virtually dried up. It's trickle is just a drip, and that's why this filtered. When I'm filtering the water, it's just so sedimentary. Yeah, and I notice because there's not much water as I'm filtering it through that the filter has got little I don't know, crustaceans or whatever living things floating around in it, swimming around in it. Which I'll have to identify those later on, what sort of things they are, because I understand some of these little water crustaceans, fresh water, they're like little shrimps and stuff like that. I suppose you could eat. I suppose you could eat them, but you didn't need to get an awful lot to make a substantial meal. And I'm having trouble. I don't know. Just to put you on pause. There's quite a lot of these growing around. They look like bamboo, but when I've been trying to look it all up and everything else, I can't. There's something out of Jurassic Park here. I've been trying to find it out, but it doesn't seem to come under any sort of classification under bamboo. I've been looking around. I can't find it. But there's quite a few of them around, and I've been looking through my book on trees and shrubs and everything else. I can't seem to identify it. If anybody knows what that is, please leave a note, yeah, in the comments, yeah. Would like to do it. If they are bamboos, then they'll be. If they dry out nicely, then they'll be quite firm for. Different types of how do you call it? They'll be quite strong for weaving and placematting and everything else, making fencing and stuff like that. I think. Anyway. I mean, I know there's a place in Godstone where they cut down a whole load of. I don't know if it's Japanese knotweed or anything else, but the bamboo. It's all dried out now, and it's really strong pieces of wood. So I'm going to have to. Forage, yeah, forage. Actually, that might be a trick. Yeah, I might go and get hold of them, because I need to make a floor mat for showering purposes. Can't keep getting my camp shoes all wet and muddy and horrible. So if I built a mat, floor mat, so I can get out of my shoes and shower on top of that, and then I won't get mud all over my feet and everything else, so, which defeats the object of having a shower or wash. And it's also useful when the rains come. You have a placemat, foot mat to wipe your boots and everything else off before you go back into the shack or home. So it's always these are all little things, you know, that if you're doing sort of like semi-permanent or even long-term living, you've got to consider. Yeah, so tomorrow's going to have to be chore day. But yeah, I'm very interested to find out what this is, and I really would love to get that little wren. He's so quick, you know. He doesn't like to stay in one place for 2 seconds. So as soon as he's there in my shot, and then he's gone. It's an annoying thing. And I've got some bunny rabbits that keep turning up over there. I think they've got a warren here somewhere. But they just stand there staring at me. I'm sitting here, yeah. Yeah. Well, as soon as I move or anything else, bang, they're gone. And I haven't seen my foxes for a few days. Well, I haven't been here for a couple of days, but not for a while. Still get my deer early in the morning. He's usually munching on the leaves out there. So, yeah, again, not going to be boring you. If anyone could help me identify this, I'll be happy. See what uses it's for. These things are usually full of spiders as well when you think, just looking at this. Oh well. Anyway, catch you later, guys.